Okay, hey everybody. We are live. Welcome. It's 2 o'clock and it is time for Forget About Football. Let's create something. So, this is a series I've been doing for a few weeks now. This is the time that my husband typically is watching football. So, I decided to go ahead and use this hour to visit with all of you. Hi, Donna. How's it going? And over the last few weeks, we've been getting together at 2 o'clock my time, different times all over the United States. And we've actually had some people from other countries as well. It's been kind of fun. So I've been going live. What I was doing before is I was chatting with you a bit on camera, but the transition is just so wonky. And until I get my new setup, I decided to just start on my desktop. So, not that I'm avoiding you, I just don't like the transition until I get my new setup. So, today we're going to make thank you cards. Now, over the last few series, we've been doing, hi, Susie, nice to see you. Over the last few weeks, we've been doing Christmas cards. And one of the things that I think is a lost tradition is thank you cards. So when my son was growing up and, he would have Christmas presents from his aunts and his grandparents, we always made it a point for him to sit down and, hi, Teresa. We always made it a point for him to sit down and do thank you cards after Christmas. We thought it was really important to get in that habit. I mean, it's nowadays people just text thank you or email thank you, but there's nothing more personal than a handwritten thank you card. So that's what we're going to do today. So I was playing a little bit today. You're just starting your Christmas cards this weekend. Susie, you better get going, girl. You are going to run out of time. So I was playing a little bit. I'll save that one for last because I knew I wanted to use. My voice just cracked there. I knew I wanted to use this stamp set. So this is one of the stamp sets that I got from the Tim Holtz Christmas release, and this one is called Cozy Christmas. You guys probably have seen lots of makes on it, and I've been kind of sitting on it because I haven't had a lot of inspiration. And I know there's a lot of inspiration out there, but I just wasn't feeling it. I knew I loved the stamp, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't feeling it. So today is the day to play with this. So when I make my thank you cards, I don't know about the rest of you, but I like to make my cards smaller than a normal A2 card. So I was playing with this a little bit, and this was the first one I made, and it was okay. I don't like that glare. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can do something about that glare. It's right off of my camera, guys, so I apologize for that. I promise we're going to get a better setup. Let me bring this closer. All right. So I know the glare is still there, so I apologize for that. But this was the first card I was playing with, and it was okay. I used, I knew I wanted to use green, so I brought out my peeled paint. And I wanted my cardstock or my background to match my prints. So I just swiped it, but then I ended up getting ink all over my fingers, and it was just a whole fiasco. So while I like this one, I didn't love it. So we're not doing this one. So then I just started playing a little bit more. I thought, well, maybe I won't use that stamp. I don't want to share that one yet because that's what we're doing. So this was a background that we created when I did a live with Debbie. I don't know if you remember, but it was sitting on my desk. So I just cut it out and I just put a thank you. And I used a really cool background stamp from Finnabar. And I think I've shared this with you before. I used this one here, just for the background. And I thought, well, that's pretty good, right? I mean, I kind of like that. I'm not going to throw it away. I'll be able to use that. And then I started playing with this baby here. And we might do this because I really like this technique. And so I did the background on watercolor paper and then stamped it and put my thank you. And I thought this is what we were going to do today, you guys. But then I had an idea. this is what we're going to do today. So let me get it where we don't have a terrible glare. There we go. So not crazy about how the thank you lined up. We're going to fix that. But this is what we're going to do. And I love how I was able to crop it and make it into a really festive background stamp. And the background, as you can see, it has some like, oh, that glare is awful. Can't. Trying to find a non-glare here. Well, you have to trust me. The background has some green grunge, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And then for the outline, I used shabby shutters, which this ink is beautiful. I don't think I've used it very much at all, and I love it. I was thinking I wanted to use peeled paint, but this was a more subtle green, and I really liked it. And then I have a few colored pencils, and I wasn't going to keep them because I don't use them, but I started playing with them today, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'm going to keep those. I was going to donate those, and I just hadn't had a chance to do it yet. So I decided to play with colored pencils today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a thank you card, couple thank you cards, and I'm going to give away a 4 set. So so after the video, make sure you go back and comment on the actual video. I don't know if my live comments transfer to the regular comments. So if they don't, make sure you go back and you leave a comment, because I'm going to give away a 4 set of these thank you cards that we create today. So I'm going to keep it open for about a week, and then I'll pick the winner. I'll probably do a live and do the winner. So make sure after the video, go back when I have it uploaded, comment on the video, so that way you guys can be entered into my drawing to win the thank you cards. And that's just a little thank you for you guys, hanging out with me on Sunday afternoon. And to my subscribers as well. So if you haven't liked the video, don't forget, before we finish, like your video, give me a thumbs up if you could, and don't forget to subscribe so you're notified. So this is what we're going to do today. So let me go ahead and clear this out, and I want to talk to you a little bit of how I got this design. So you guys know I am a digital creator. And if you don't know that, I'm a digital creator. Just that you know that up front. And while I love creating backgrounds, don't get me wrong, I can create some beautiful backgrounds with stamps. I did these two here. Sometimes when I want the same card, I want it to be consistent. So Susie, you're saying if your color pencils are in a bag, how do you know if they are colored pencils or watercolor pencils? I pull them out. I don't, like I said, I don't really use colored pencils. I might start, but yeah, I have the watercolor pencils mixed in with the regular color. And because I haven't really used them, I was just going to donate them all, to be honest with you. But I'm rethinking that decision, because I was really happy with what I was able to do here. So if I do decide to keep them, I don't know if I'll keep all of them. I have quite a few. I'll separate the watercolor ones between the regular ones. But yeah, that's a good question, because like I said, I don't use them, but I might try to start incorporating them into my designs, because I love how this turned out. So the way that I did this background is, let me show you here, is this. So I get rid of that glare. I created a digital background that kind of looked like distress ink. And this is available for you guys over in my shop. So the code to get this is thank you. So make sure, if you want to try to duplicate these thank you cards, go over to the shop and use the coupon code thank you, so you can download these. They're in the dollar section. But this is what I did to create the background. And boy, doesn't it look like it's inked? I mean, I did use the shabby shutter for the outside, which we'll be doing, but I just love the background. And when I started playing, I just cut this out with a nice die, and then I matted it. So you guys, if you want to cut out just the white part, you can do that. If you want to use the green as a background, you can do that as well. I just wanted you to be able to duplicate this card if you were interested in it. But this is what I created when we were playing. So I might show you how to create this because isn't that beautiful? You love it. All right, but we're going to work with my digital image today because I want my thank you cards to be consistent. Hi, Debbie. How's it going? So that's what we're going to do. All right. So the first thing you're going to need to do, of course, is print out the paper and cut it out. And I'm going to stick with the black matte. This is another cute stamp that I had to have and I haven't used it yet. I need to figure out how I can incorporate that because I love it. All right. So I have some dies that create this decal effect here. And my card size is, let's see, it's 4 3/4 by 3.5. Like I said, I like my thank you cards to be a lot smaller than my regular cards, and then I'll just make a handmade envelope. And then I don't typically put a sentiment because I like to handwrite my thank yous. So that's kind of how I do my thank yous. Just curious, do you guys make your thank you cards smaller than regular cards, or do you pretty much keep them consistent? Just curious. I've just always made my thank you cards smaller for some reason. All right. So like I said, we're going to be working with this set today. And then I brought out an oldie. When I was going through my stamps, I realized I didn't have a lot of thank you stamps. I might have to change that next year. But I pulled out this stamp set. You guys probably remember this, right? This is an old Tim Holtz stamp set, but it's a great one. It has all the sentiments you could need, and they're not very big. So that's the thank you I'm using. And I found another thank you set, which is nice. I've used this before, but it was a little bit bigger than what I wanted. So if you guys have any recommendations for small thank yous or just thank you stamps, go ahead and put them in the comments for me so I can check them out, because I think I need to invest in some more thank you stamps. So Susie, you make your thank you cards A2. Yeah, my normal cards I make A2, but for my thank you, I just tend to go a little bit smaller for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe so I don't have to write as much. I don't know. But that's just my jam. All right. Okay, so now where's my example? I already lost my example. Oh, there it is. All right, so on this particular one, I stamped the image first and then I stamped the sentiment. But I think I'm going to stamp the sentiment first and then make sure my graphic is better aligned. As you see, I didn't want to run into my snowman. So I think the thank you was a little bit too close to the edge. So I'm going to stamp my thank you first. Glare is awful. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, so I am using this little thank you, and I'm just going to stamp it in the corner. I'm still going to pretty much use the same setup, but when I stamp my image, I'm thinking I'll just move this over a little bit. All right. So the cards that I'm making, I'm going to make 4 of them. I'm going to put them into a set, and I'm going to be giving these away if you missed that. So make sure, and I'm going to keep the drawing open for a week because I want the replay people to be able to enter the drawing as well. So make sure you go back on the video after it's uploaded. Oh, that wasn't good. And comment on it so I can enter you guys into the drawing if you're interested in winning the 4 thank you cards. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And if you guys want the printout to be able to try this as well, you can get this over in my shop. Now it's there now. It's in the dollar section, and the coupon code is thank you, so you guys can download that for free. All right. So that wasn't very smart. I should have stamped 2 of them. Let's go ahead and get this one stamped too. All right. So what's everybody doing today? We got up early and went out to breakfast with my husband's uncle, and I had chicken fried steak and eggs. Oh boy, was that good with the white gravy. It was pretty good. Usually when we go out to breakfast, so that's typically our meal for the day. So it was sure good though. I love breakfast. All right, so there is my thank you. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to stamp my image. So I used the snowman. I think I'm going to do 2 snowman and 2 with just the regular. Oh, the elf. That's who it is. So that's what I'm going to do. But I want to position this. Let's see. Position this so it doesn't run into the thank you. And this is kind of a wonky stamp. Yeah, Susie, you're welcome. I just want you to be able to, if you like what we're doing, I want you to be able to recreate it. So you are very welcome. All right, so let's go like that, I guess. I guess that's pretty good. And then, see, I wanted to make sure my snowman was to the right more. So I wanted to stamp my thank you first. And the ink that I'm using is black soot archival ink. So Susie, your goal is to get the Christmas tree up after your cards are done. Oh boy, we got our tree up last weekend. I have all the presents to wrap though, so those are sitting unwrapped under the tree. I'm going to do that later today. I started my cookie baking last night, so I got my sugar cookie dough finished and I got my biscotti dough finished, and it's chilling in the fridge. I'm going to put those together this week. And then I have some more cookies I'm going to make, but some of the doughs that I use have to chill for a few days. So I went ahead and got those done. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, Debbie, you and me both. I love breakfast. So Debbie says she can eat breakfast anytime. Me too. Not a big omelet eater though. I like the fried eggs. But occasionally I'll have omelets. All right. Oh, that looks great. So I love how even though it's an oversized stamp, when it cuts out part of it, I mean, it still looks great, doesn't it? I just think it's awesome. All right, so let's put that aside. And let's do the other one while we got the Misty out. All right, so how did we do this here? Okay, there is the little elf. He is very cute. Got the snowman, you got the elf. So sweet. See, I wasn't smart. I should have made photocopies of this grid because this is my last one and I don't have any more. So now I'm going to have to buy the grid, and hopefully next time I'm smart enough to take photocopies so I don't have to buy the pad. But I don't think the pad's very expensive. Not sure, but yeah, this is my last background piece. All right, so let's see if we can position this guy here. The elf is so cute. Susie says she can eat breakfast anytime as well. Yeah, it's a great meal, isn't it? I'd rather eat breakfast anytime. Oh. Sometimes when I was growing up, my mom would do pancakes for dinner, and that was always a treat for us as kids. I have two sisters, and it was always a treat when we would have pancakes for dinner. It probably was at the end of the month when we didn't have any food. We were pretty poor growing up. We didn't have a lot of money, but you could always tell, you know, right before payday when we were getting creative with our dinners. But that's all right. We didn't know any better. I mean, we had everything we needed. We just thought it was a treat. All right. And I loved as I became, when I became an adult and I had my own household, some of those meals that they made us eat, like I don't like liver and onions, and my dad did. So, of course, my mom made liver and onions every once in a while. Oh, that's not my favorite. So we don't have that for dinner at my house. My son has never had liver and onions. He's welcome to try it at a restaurant, but I will never make liver and onions. So Susie, you're making spaghetti for dinner? Yep, that is a favorite of mine as well. Occasionally I'll make homemade, handmade meatballs, and that's always fun. All right, so my candy cane needs a little bit more here. So even though it cuts off part of the image, I still think it looks great. I think this stamp set was meant to be chopped. I'm not sure, but I think it looks good. All right, let's put this aside. And I don't think I need the Misty anymore. So we'll put that aside. And here are our two stamped images. Didn't they come out great? And as you can see, the background, it looks like it's inked, doesn't it? Let's see if I can take away that glare. It looks like it's inked, but that's just the principle. So you guys make sure you go and download this if you want to try this, because the background is subtle enough. The coupon code is thank you. And I think it's a capital T. I can't remember. If you have any problems, let me know. But yeah, you can download this and you can try this as well. All right. So for the background, I am using Shabby Shutters for the outline. And I'm using, what am I using? I'm using a brush. This is what I'm using here. Thanks, Susie. Susie says she's loving it. Yeah, it's funny because the reason I started the video showing you kind of how I progressed into this design is it doesn't always come to me. I don't sit down and say, this is what I'm going to make and it's going to be awesome, because not everything I make is awesome. And you guys don't always see the unawesome items. You usually see the ones that I end up making. So sometimes you got to walk the path to find what you're looking for, But that's what's fun about creating. So I do try to plan when I come on camera for you guys. Don't necessarily wing it. When I do my impromptu lives, I'm usually just playing. I don't have anything planned. But when I come in on Sunday afternoons, I try to have something pre-planned for you. I have everything cut out because I want it to be informative. I want it to be something that maybe you guys try. And that's why I created the digital for you guys to download, so you can give this a try as well. Now, I do also have a Facebook page called Stamping with Friends. So if you guys do end up creating these, I'd love for you guys to post your finished products. All right, so there we go. Now they probably are good as they are. I mean, I probably could pop these onto my black cardstock and I'd be good to go. But this is where I used my colored pencils. I didn't want to add ink to them. I thought it would saturate it too much. But it was just, the colored pencils were just enough. Where's my cardstock? To add some color to it. All right. I did plan. I had all of my black cardstock cut out. All right, here we go. So yeah, so that's the plan, is to mount these onto black cardstock and put them on white. Okay, but first I want to add some colors. So I have black here, and it's just going to be very subtle. And that's what I liked about the pencils, is, you know, you can make it really subtle, but still add some color. All right, so then his scarf, of course, has to be red. Let's see if maybe we can do stripes here. And I do not use colored pencils. I'm sure people can get really fancy with colored pencils. I'm just not one of those. I'm really not a colorist. I mean, I do have Copic markers, and I have colored. I know how to shade. I can do the basics, but I'm definitely not an expert at it, for sure. All right, so I want to add some green. But yeah, I think the pencils are very subtle, and that's what I liked about them. A lot of times when I'm coloring, you know, I'm doing the shading, and I'm adding several colors. But for this, I just wanted it really, really, really subtle. And the pencils were great. And honestly, all those pencils that I have, I didn't buy those. When my mother-in-law passed away, I inherited her craft room. So a lot of those were hers. And I just recently I've been destashing some of the stuff that I don't use, or it's not my style. Uh, just for room, you know, room's sake. But I might have to rethink the pencils, because I'm kind of liking it. What do you think, you guys? It looks good, I think. It's the perfect thank you card. It doesn't take a lot of time to make, but I want a deeper red for the berries, I think. Oh, you know what? I can make the berries gold. I was going to make them red, but let me make them gold. What do you think? You guys think it's looking pretty good? Yeah, I like making multiple cards of the same thing, because once you have your design figured out, then you can just create. You know, sometimes when we're trying to figure out a design, it takes a little bit of brain power to come up with a design. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't necessarily just come to me. Some of my designs are trial and error. Like I shared with you in the beginning of the video. It takes me a minute to get there. Sometimes I take the long way home. Sometimes it takes me, you know, the long route to figure out what I'm going to do. All right. Now, I think that's a bulb. We're going to make it a bulb. I'm not sure if it's a bulb. All right. All right. So, gosh, that's it, you guys. I mean, that one's done. All I have to do is add glue. Where do you advertise your D-stash? On Instagram, Susie. At, write this down. So oops, I spelled that wrong. At Taylor made cards for you. Forget the first one. So yeah, so let me see if I can. All right. So yeah, so this one here at Taylormadecards4u, that's my regular Instagram. And then where I destash is at Taylor, at TMC4U _shop. Okay, so yeah, Taylormadecards4u is where I share all of my creations, and that's like my crafty Instagram. And then where I destash is TMC4U _shop. That's where I sell on Instagram. So yeah, I did a big destash in November, I think. Not doing any more sales this year, but that's where I destash typically. And I'll just take photos and list how much it is. So yeah, make sure that you guys are following both of those handles, because that's mostly where I do that kind of stuff. All right, so there's that one. And then now let's do this one. Okay, so the ornament is silver. A lot of what I destash is when I used to be on design teams. You know, I may or may not use the product anymore. So I get rid of what I don't think I'll use anymore. Maybe things that, you know, I used for a while and then I just don't use them anymore. So yeah, I do destash occasionally. So if you guys ever want to be notified, I left the information on in the notes for my Instagram. All right. See, I know you can do fancy shading with pencils. I don't know how to do that. I might have to learn. But that's good enough, I think. Right? I mean, it doesn't have to be too fancy. I'm just looking to add some color. So yeah, this, I think I'll have time to show you how I did this, because we're doing pretty good on time. These thank you cards are coming together really, really easily. So yeah, I think I'm going to be able to make several in no time at all, which is great, right? I mean, when you have to make lots of cards, and the thank you cards, I mean, these are more towards the holiday, right? But it's always nice to have thank you cards on hand, especially for my shop, because I like to put little handwritten notes when people buy things from my shop. Just because, I mean, I'm a maker, so it makes sense to do handmade stuff. All right, so on this particular one, I did the little bulbs gold. I think I'm going to do these red though, but I want a more vibrant red. Let's see. See, that's pink. See, this is the stack that I was going to donate, and I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. I might not keep them all though. I think that's quite a bit of colored pencils. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to do the berries more of a mauve, I guess. Yeah, I'm really loving the colored pencils. I don't know if I would do it for all of my coloring, but I like how subtle it is, you know. And I think that's what I was struggling with this stamp set because it was pretty detailed. I didn't know if I wanted to just leave it black and white. But now I found a solution. I mean, I wanted it to be subtle. Definitely didn't want to come in with my Copic markers, which I guess I could have, but that's not what I wanted to do. So that's why I hadn't used this stamp set yet. Not that I love it, because I think it's, you know, I'm conscientious about my purchases. You know, I think about, God, I hate that glare. I think about my purchases because I just don't go out and buy everything anymore. And when I saw this, especially when Tim has his releases, I know I'm not going to buy everything because I don't necessarily love everything he makes. I shouldn't say it that way. It's not my style. I mean, even though he is the vintage inspired crafter, not everything is my style. I never really got into the was it the crazy cats, I guess, was some of the things. Never got into that. Some of the things just weren't my style. So Susie, you're saying it's nice to change the medium. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I would have, just creating a little shadow here. I don't think I would have went out and bought colored pencils, to be honest with you. So I'm glad I had a chance to play with them in my stash. All right, so I'm calling that one done. So Teresa, you're saying you like the colored pencils better than the alcohol markers? Yeah, you know, I think there's definitely a place for them. I like the way that the alcohol markers shade. I'm able to shade really nicely with the alcohol markers. I'm sure you can do that with the pencils. I just haven't played with them enough. So more to come on the pencils. Next year, I'm going to have to play with them a little bit more to see what I can do. All right. I'm loving these, you guys. I don't know about you, but I think these are coming out fantastic. All right. So I already have my cardstock cut out and scored. Now I'm going to be giving away, I think I mentioned it, I'm going to be giving away a set of 4 of these. So make sure after the video goes up on my YouTube, go back and make a comment on it, because I'm going to use those comments to draw for a giveaway in about a week. That'll give me time to make a few more, because these are going to be my thank you cards. All right, cute, so cute. Now, a lot of times with my cards, I'll mat the inside and do a sentiment, but for thank you cards, I don't. I like to leave them blank because I think the handwritten message goes a long way. And your thank you cards don't have to be fancy. I mean, I know this one is a little bit fancier than it needs to be, but truly, I mean, you can take any cardstock and stamp a thank you on white cardstock, and you're good to go. So, I mean, your thank you cards don't have to be fancy. Especially if you're making several, you don't want it to be too time draining, right? Oh my gosh, those came out so cute, you guys. I really love them. So I want to, if you guys are up for it, I want to show you a couple more techniques when I was playing. So if you guys are up to hanging out for a little longer, usually I try to keep my lives about an hour. We're 2:40. So you guys interested in keeping going here? And I will finish my thank you cards up off camera. But this essentially is going to be the design. And if you guys are interested, I'll show you how I got this effect. Now remember, the download is available for you guys. So you guys can do some thank you cards on this as well. It's over in my shop, Taylormadecards4u.com, and the coupon code is thank you, capital T. You guys can download this and print it, cut it out, and you can use it for your cards as well. It's like a pre-grungy background. All right, so Susie, you're in. All right, girl. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I'll put these aside because I got to make some more thank you cards. And I want to show you how I did this because I was really happy with it. So when I was playing, I was able to create this background. When I was trying to figure out what thank you card I wanted to do, I found this background stamp and I started playing with it. I knew I didn't want it to just be solid. You know, I mean, I wanted it to be a little bit more of a watercolor. And that's how I came up with this. So I'm using watercolor cardstock. You're going to want it to be a little bit thicker because you are going to be spraying it. I have some of this distress glaze that I didn't try, but we're going to try when we're playing right now. And then the colors that I used are iced spruce, shabby shutters, and I used peeled paint. But you might be able to try different combinations. So it's a double stamp technique. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So other color combinations might be great. I think you go with the color and then more of a muted color. So, you know, if you were to do a red or a blue, come in with a, you know, a more subtle color like the iced spruce, or maybe the, you know, weathered wood. Something a little bit lighter for your second part of the stamping. All right, so I like to have it oversized just because I can put the little magnets, but I end up trimming it down. And then, like I said, I came in, I hate when those magnets stick. Ooh, how did that little name come up there? How? That is very strange. Hide. Okay, there we go. That was weird. I wonder how long that's been up there. All right. So let's see. I find them easier to shade by pressing lightly first and then a deeper color. Yep, I've done that before, Teresa. Yep, absolutely. With this, I watered it, so I knew it was going to be a little bit lighter to begin with, but I was able to get the cloudiness, I guess, by double stamping. And I'll show you what I mean here. So because it's oversized, I can just put it all the way to the corner here and lay down my stamp. And this probably would work with many background stamps, I would guess. You just need to play. Like I said, I kind of came up with that background plain. So Shabby Shutters is the one I really like, so that's what we're going to use. Now, when I stamped, I slid my ink because, let's see if I can be on screen for this, because I didn't want it to be completely solid. I wanted to have it look like wood, maybe. I'm not really sure, but that's what I did, is I slid it. Hi, Cordelia. How's it going? And then once I had the ink on my stamp, then I came in with my distress sprayer. Now, a couple things here. So if you don't want the splotches, let me see. So yeah, so this one here, do you see how you don't get really the, what's the word? The splotchiness, I guess, I don't know. But if you got to be careful with the dripping of the water if you don't want this effect here. If you want it to be more textured, I guess is the word, just be aware when you're spritzing. So yeah, so the sliding is great because you don't want it to be all solid. You know, you could easily keep going with the ink and make it solid, but that really wasn't what I was going for. And then I'm spritzing here. See, I got a splotch there, I got a splotch there. I'm okay with that. If you don't want that, just watch your drifts because that's going to transfer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and push this down. So Cordelia said she's making cookies today. Dropped them on a cookie sheet and froze them. They're ready to bake for Christmas. Great job. Yeah, I think part of the reason people get overwhelmed at Christmas is just the preparation. But if you do it in stages, it's not too bad. I learned that through the years. All right, so there is my first layer. I'm going to have to stand up and stamp to get some pressure. All right, because I wanted it a little bit darker. YouTube time before supper. What's for supper, Cordelia? All right, so there's the first layer. Now, I would recommend taking a towel or something and taking off the excess. If you're using the same family of ink, so oxides to oxides or distress to distress, you're fine. It won't contaminate it. It won't hurt it. Just don't cross-contaminate. Oh, someone else said they were having spaghetti tonight too. Was that you maybe? Don't cross-contaminate your distress inks. So if you rub some of this and get some of this shabby shutters on this, you can just take a pad, something, and rub it out. But you don't want to cross-contaminate families of ink. All right. So I'm just coming in again. And this is iced spruce. So I'm doing the same thing, just coming in with a different color. And it's going to fill in. It's not going to stamp exactly the same. And that's what I like about this technique, because it's going to fill in some of the white, I guess, which makes it look really random. And I like that. All right. Now coming in again. A little bit of pressure. I don't think you could do this without the Misty, because you want it to line up. All right, but God, look at how gorgeous that is. I mean, you've got the cross color, and I just think it's beautiful. I really love it. And now I'm going to dry it. All right, but isn't that a great background, you guys? This the color combination of two colors, and you can see it. You can see the two colors. You can see the green, but then you also see the, God, that glare is awful. You also see the iced spruce inside of the green. So when I double stamped it, I'm like, oh, I'm liking that. Mama like. I thought it was really good. And I don't mind the whiteness. You know, if that bothers you, you can always come in, you know, with your brush and add some color. I might even add some like vintage photo. I might add a third color, you know. But I like the randomness of it. Oh. Yeah, you could, that exactly. When I was playing, this was going to be my thank you card, you guys. This was this. So and then I decided to do the snowman instead, you know, the stamp. But this originally was what we were going to do today. And that was the background, and then it kind of changed. But this is a great technique because you can stamp several of these. In fact, we're going to try a different color right now because I have a little bit of time. I have 2 more watercolor pieces cut out here that we're going to try. So can you guys make any recommendations for the color coordinations? It's got to be like a gray and a color, or a beige and a color. You know, it can't be two greens because I don't think you would get the same effect. Maybe you would. I mean, I guess we can try it, right? But I want to try another color combination. So yeah, so these were the two that I did, and I loved that color combination, so I wanted to show you again. And it's different, right? They're not exactly the same, but I just love that double stamping technique. I just think it looks so pretty. Hi Melissa, late to the party. That's okay. Gray and pale blue. You got it. All right, so let's see what we can do here. So like I said before, I'm not overly concerned about this being completely clean. I'm going to work with oxides, not inks. So, okay, Cordelia, we'll wait for you. So don't cross-contaminate your inks. Use oxides with oxides. So if you do contaminate your ink pads, it's the same formula. If you are going to use, I mean, not to say you can't stamp on it, right? But just don't cross-contaminate your inks. Because I did that and it will stain them. I still use it. It was my black soot and I still use it, but it stained it. So that's all right. Okay, so we're going to try, I think we said a light blue and a gray. So let me see what I have here. What do I have in blue? Oh, peacock feathers. That might be a little bit too dark. And that's more of a turquoise, I think. We've got salty ocean. I think this will be my second color, this weathered wood. So this is going to be a combination with another color. Cracked pistachio. What do you guys think? So this is going to be my second color I'm going to use. Speckled egg. I don't know if I have that one, Teresa. I haven't bought a lot of the newer colors. I think I got the patina one, but I haven't invested in the newer colors. I'm going to. I just haven't yet. Let's see. So I've got, what do I have? Pine needles. I don't really want to do a green. I got stormy sky. What do you think? So what should we do here? I don't have speckled egg. Let's see. Where's that patina one? Let's see. Chip sapphire might be pretty too. That's a nice one. All right. Just try it. We're just playing. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this combination here. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, so this is my first stamping color. This is my second. Get my watercolor paper down. And I'm going to slide. So chip sapphire. That's what we're doing right now. It's chip sapphire. So again, I'm just going to do the sliding motion. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for coverage. All right. And then I'm going to take my distress sprayer. A few sprays here. And pressure. All right. Hi, Pam. I don't think I said hi to you. How are you? Put in some pressure. I have to stand up for this, guys, because I want to try to make sure my ink transfers. All right. Moment of truth. Ooh, what do you think? Oh, that's pretty. All right. And then I'm going to take off some of this ink here. And then I'm going to come in with weathered wood. So Cordelia's cousin called, and then her cat is letting her know it's time to eat. Pam, glad to hear you're doing good, running errands. Yeah, I didn't get out today. We went out to breakfast this morning. But for the most part, I've been around the house today. All right, so this is weathered wood. Same thing. Gonna spritz it and transfer it, and then we'll dry it. So again, just doing spritzing with my distress sprayer. I'm gonna pull up my sleeves here because I got to give it some pressure. All right, and then I think Tim calls this CPR. You don't have to give your stamp CPR, right? Sometimes you do, Tim. Sometimes you do. Okay. I think that's good. Oh, so this is the combination we end up with. So yeah, what I would say is try different combinations. You know, one darker, one lighter. Should we go for a third color? I don't know. I don't want it to get muddy, you guys. But I wonder, what if we went with like something totally random? Like, I don't know, maybe if we brought in some mustard seed, or I don't know, maybe like a dark purple. I don't have the villainous one, the purple one that came out at Halloween. But what if we came in with just a random color? I mean, all we can do is ruin the paper, right? I mean, this kind of has a purple vibe. What if we added a purple to it? Dusty Concord? What do you guys think? Should we go for it? I mean, I'm just layering colors here. I don't want it to get muddy, though. All right. I'm going to go for it. I might just do a couple of slides on this one, though. Sometimes I don't know when to stop, because I think that's pretty. I mean, these were the other two I did. Nice backgrounds. But let's see what this does. All right. So if purple could use as sky in winter night and add snow, but yeah, absolutely. I might have to make some cards and post these on my Instagram after. Oh, look at that one, you guys. And these are just color combinations with some water. Oh, man. Yeah, Teresa, I agree. And what's cool about this is, you know, you're not going to get the perfect stamp every time, but that's what you want, right? You want it to be sporadic. And I love the color combination of this. I mean, I might even come back and add a third color to this one. I don't know. But I like the idea. This could be like a sky, you know, maybe the white background could be the clouds. You know, and this is a background you can use either horizontal or vertical, right? I mean, there's so much you can do with these backgrounds, and I just think it's gorgeous. All right, I have one more piece of watercolor cardstock. You want this stamp now? Gosh, where did I get this? It was from one of my design teams. So it's either Stamplerations or I Break for Stamps. So Teresa, I'll look for it. I always go back and link the items that I've used in case you guys want to try to duplicate what I'm doing. So I'll look for the stamp for you guys. And to be honest with you, this is one I haven't given a lot of love to, but I'm kind of liking it. All right. One more color combination. So we did our, what's that? I don't like that. Okay. We did our greens. We did our purples and blues. Thanks, Sheila. Yeah, I think the pencils worked perfect. I was really happy. So we're gonna do one more color combination, guys. Give me some suggestions. So we did greens and we did blues and purples. Should we try like oranges and yellows, maybe? Just to get the effect. But if you guys do try this technique, just try different combinations. I mean, that's all I was doing when I was just playing. So I think we need to try like an orange and a yellow and a red, maybe. So while this could be a night sky, orange, yellow, and red could be like a sunset background, maybe. Yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, so now because, well, you know what? I think I'm going to leave some of the purple because that might be kind of cool. So what I'm going to use oranges. So maybe spice marmalade. Let's see, what do I have here? Pull out the little box. I haven't decided if I'm loving this box yet. So I got it because it was on sale, and I'm planning on buying more inks, and I ran out of space where I keep my inks. But you can't store it like this because your inks, I'm told that your inks will run. Have you guys heard that as well? That if you stored the inks on the sides, that the ink will run down, that you're supposed to store it where the ink pads are flat. Have you guys heard that? I don't know. So I'm going to rethink this. Someone said that to me and I'm like, really? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to try sunset. So dried marigold maybe. Rusty hinge might be a little too dark. Thinking sunset colors, guys. So, and it's got to be, so maybe mustard seed. Let's see. Here's my spice marmalade. I think spice marmalade would be good. And then maybe fossilized amber. Let's see. And then I want to get some red in there. Crackling firewood is more of an orangey. All right, so we'll try this. So Teresa, you said you read that. I have Towers, and scrapbook.com has some under their own brand. Yeah, I have Towers as well, but I ran out of room. So I'm having to rethink my decision on this. I like the box. I just don't know if I'm gonna store my inks in them or not. I'm thinking about it. All right. So yeah, Sheila, that was my thought. I mean, but someone said don't store them like this, to store them flat. So I gotta do a little bit more research. I can't believe Tim would create a storage box that is intended to be stackable, right? And not have them stored this way. So Sheila says that strange container is supposed to keep them from leaking because they fit tight. I just bought enough for all mine. Yeah, I don't know. I had mine stacked and someone said, oh, don't do it that way because you don't want to store them this way. You want to store them flat. So I don't know. I've got to do a little bit more research on that. Okay, so we're going to do one more combination. I'm going to start out with, I think I'm going to start out with spiced marmalade. Let's start out with this one. And I left the purple intentionally. I know it might contaminate this, but not too bad. I don't care. As long as it's oxide on oxide, I'm fine because I can rub out the other color. And I am swiping, I'm not pouncing. And spray, spray, spray with my spritzer. I should have known that. So my magnet's stuck. I had a fourth magnet. I'm sure it's underneath something here. All right. So, and then get our CPR technique going on here. Oops, don't like that. All right. So Teresa, you're saying you love his boxes, your mini inks are in them, and his embossing powders in the crate set. Yeah, the mini inks, I have the minis as well, but the inks lay flat. They're not on their side. So I don't know. I said I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. Okay, so there's the first color combination. It's my orange. Now I bet you I'm going to come in with another spritz and see if it gives me a different pattern. Huh. I just wanted to see what it would do the second time around. All right, so I'm going to take off some of this orange. Okay, guys, this is our last card. And I'm going to come in with a yellow. I think I'm going to do fossilized amber next. See, if you pounce it, you get that square look, and that's why you want to slide it. Plus, I like the randomness of it. You know, it doesn't completely cover it, which is what I'm going for. Okay, we're going to spray, spray, spray. And CPR. All right. Let's see. And, ooh, so yeah, you can see the fossilized amber. I'm going to add some red to it because I want to see what it does with a little bit more. So Sheila says, Tim said you don't have to store them upside down. I guess I will find out because mine are all stacked. Yeah, I mean, that's why I bought them, Sheila, is because I wanted to be able to stack them. I might send him an email, to be honest with you. Because he'll know. I mean, it's his box, right? And he's pretty good about answering questions like that. All right. So spray, spray, spray. I'm using fired brick next. All right. And let's see. Oh, what do you think? That's definitely sunset colors, isn't it? All right, you guys. So yeah, that's just, like I said, using my distress oxides and doing layers. So I'm having some fun with this. So these are the colors that we did. We did this Let's get rid of that glare. So this was the yellows, the oranges, and the reds. This was the purples, the dark blue, and the light gray, I want to say. And then this was just two combinations. It was the greens and the I can't remember what the last one I did. But yeah, pretty fun backgrounds, I think. They came out really good. All right, so we are 11 minutes past 3. I went over a little bit, but I was having so much fun playing with these, and I'm glad you guys stuck around. So don't forget, if you guys are interested in winning my thank you cards, I'm going to do the drawing in about a week, and I'll do it live. So after the video is loaded up on YouTube, go back and make a comment. Don't forget to like my video if you could help me out with that. And give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me, because that always helps me out. I'll go back and I'll link all the products that I used, and I'll try to remember these color combinations as well, because I think these came out really great. And if you haven't downloaded this Principle, which is what I used for my thank you cards, you can get that over at my shop for free. And you can use the coupon code thank you, and I think it's a capital T. If you have any problems, just send me an email, and I'll help you out. But yeah, you can download this for free, and that way you can, have the background to make some stamps if you want to. And I got to give it a little bit of a plug here. Don't forget to check out my other digitals in my shop. There might be something you like. All right, you guys, I had a lot of fun today. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And I'll have to think of what we're going to do next week. So if you have any suggestions for next week, put it in a comment, and I'll be happy to oblige. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time.